I'm out here trying to choose a pic for the gram, and I've been at it for so long, and now I'm like, is it actually that deep? Like, is it actually that deep? Welcome to your Millennial Unfiltered Mother podcast, aka Your M.U.M podcast. I'm your host, Christiana, and listen, honey, all this talk of Instagram likes and all of this stuff that's going on has actually sort of come to my head now because, like I just said, like I've been sort of going through my phone for a bit, thinking, which one of these pics shall I post for the gram? Like, which one of these pics shall I post? And I'm all here scrolling through all these pictures that I took, the other day. And I'm just like, just post one of them. Like, it's not even that deep. Like, it's literally not that deep. But, I'm kind of looking at myself funny, like, what? I'm literally looking at each picture. Like, they all pretty much look the same. They're pretty similar. Some are different poses or whatever. And I'm looking at it like, why am I, no, I don't like the way my hip looks in this one. I don't like the way my hand is. I don't like the way my legs are positioned in this one. I look tired in this one. I don't like the way my hair looks in this one. I don't like how I'm smiling. I'm proper like hard on myself, being, extra critical, all because of why? All because of who? Do you know what I mean? And, I've just posted it, but I've sort of just kind of thought, okay, look, just post one. Like, it's literally never that deep. And it kind of got me thinking about this whole thing about Instagram sort of taking away likes. And I'm looking at it from all different kinds of views. From what I know anyway, from what I'm just seeing, I haven't done a lot of research on it, is they're testing in America pretty soon, taking away, the likes. You can see your own likes. When you post a picture, you can see your own insights. But it's just not sort of out there in view for the public and everything. And I'm not too bothered about that whole new thing. I feel like, if they say it's to better, young people's self-esteem and all that stuff, I don't really know, because they're still gonna see, how many likes they get or don't get. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know how it's gonna help. But I do get it when people wanna have like loads of likes and stuff like that. And it's kind of made me think, like, how do I feel when I get a few likes? I average sort of below 100 likes and I have like 900 followers. I don't care. This is my process, yeah. I'm hard on myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at all my pictures like, nah, batters. Okay, I'm not saying batters. But I'm looking at all my pictures and I'm like, nah, don't like it. And they all pretty much look the same. Do you know what I mean? And then I just eventually choose one or two. I post it and I literally put my phone in my pocket, in my bag, throw it down there, give it to Seth, whatever. And I just forget it. I'm not there counting likes. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I don't think I care about it. Like, I love that people will see it, will double tap it for me. If they actually, genuinely like it, or if they just sort of double tap on it. I do appreciate all of that recognition and all of that love. But I'm not sitting there going, my goal is to get, I'm not posting pictures with the hope of getting however many, hundreds of likes. Like, I don't really feel like that's my thought process. Like, I know it's not. Do you know what I mean? What my thought process is, I feel like is worse. I kind of feel like the fact that I'm so hard on some of these pictures that are absolutely fine, it's like, I don't want to be critiqued. I don't want people to be looking at my pictures funny. I don't want people to notice these things, so let me not post it. And it's like, it's like, I like to think that I'm the kind of person who doesn't give two shits about what anyone says about nothing. But maybe I do give two shits. Do you know what I mean? And that's something to think about. It's something for me to think about at the end of the day. It's not cool for me to try to impress, all my followers so much so that, I'm being so hard on my own picture. It's of me. It's me. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I shouldn't really be too hard on my own shit. at the end of the day. So I'm all for removing likes. I'm also for, you know, sort of policing some of these comments, you know, on some of these channels, because I think Cardi B was saying that it's not necessarily about likes for her that is the problem, but it's the fact that people are liking sort of bad comments, and people actually go out of their way to seek some of the most vile of comments and give those comments likes so that it gets to the top of like a page or whatever. And that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? I get what she was saying, but I kind of feel like it's all of it. It's all of it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So I do feel like I appreciate if that is in fact what they're doing. I appreciate the fact that Instagram are trying to crack down on these things, because it can be like, you know, this whole social media world can be quite nasty and can be quite, you know, critical and everything like that. Maybe that's why I'm so obsessive about what picture I post. Do you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, you are sort of mindful of people having their own sort of judgment and opinion. And it's like, why do I care so much about what some strangers, some people who I ain't seen in years, do you know what I mean? Why am I so bothered about what they're going to think? Do you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be bothered, but, you know, obviously subconsciously at the back of your mind, you are thinking, you know, you want people to like it. You want people to like every aspect of this picture. You want people to comment on the picture for engagement. You know, it's not, it's just not cool that, you know, some people just go out of their way to look for something. Do you know what? Things like, places like the Shade Room, like their Instagram account, and I'll use the Shade Room as an example, because that's just the first thing that comes into my mind when I think some really out of pocket comments. Like, some people, some of the things that they point out, for crying out loud, do you know what I mean? Some of the things that they point out about a certain picture, you know, is like, wow. Like, you really just pointed out this person's nose, this person's lips, you know, the mole, or the hair. Like, you're really going to town. And it's like, this is exactly why people are so, you know, I'm not saying, you know, people are doing that with me, but they might just be looking at my own brethrens, like, or my own people in my own, you know, Instagram, can be looking and thinking, rah, boy, her nose is big, or rah, boy, like, she got some big head, innit? Do you know what I mean? And you're conscious of those things. You're really looking out at your own picture thinking, rah, what are people going to say about me? Because you're seeing it on, you know, some of the blogs, Instagram pages, and you see people are literally pointing out the most, you know, random stuff. And I'm just thinking, you're really going out of your way to write comments, you know, under this, you know, celebrity's picture, and just highlighting something that you consider a flaw. It might not even be something that, you know, this person even thought of. Like, rah, like, do you know what I mean? And now you've just given them this massive insecurity. And, you know, like Cardi B said, that one comment that's just out of pocket, that's just out of line, gets all of these likes, which then the algorithm pushes, you know, that comment as like a favorite comment, as like a main comment. So it will be one of the first comments you see. And I do kind of feel like that's a bit of a liberty. Do you know what I mean? Even the way this whole Instagram algorithm, can't even bloody say it, it works. It's funny because it's like, okay, cool. I've posted a picture, but only about 20-30% of the people following me are going to see it. You know, the people that are more engaged, you know, that will write comments, that will like my pictures, that, you know, will scroll and pause and maybe scroll past whatever. People that seem to, people that my photo reaches, you know, regularly is who Instagram is going to show. So with all these people following me, it's like only a very small percentage of like these people are actually going to see my shit. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, the way the algorithm works, it's mad. And it's like, I don't know why they do that. Like, if someone chooses to follow me, then show them my shit. I don't understand. And even me, I'm following, some hundreds of people I don't even know at this point, yeah. But I swear down, I see the same sort of people's pictures in rotation. Like I do not, my feed is not that is not that of someone that's following 800 people. I'm seeing the same sort of 40, 50 people's, pictures. And it's like, just the way the algorithm works is all, you know what? It's all mad. Anyway, God save us with all this algorithm business, because I kind of feel like I should be interested, because at the end of the day, I'm a blogger, I'm a podcaster, who uses these tools to promote my work at the end of the day. And so I should care about, how my podcast is being sort of reached, and how, some of the posts that I put on my main page about some of my YouTube videos or about some of my blogs is being reached, and, who it's reaching and stuff like that. It is my job to sort of care about those things. It's not my nature to care about, what people look about, how people, perceive how I look or anything like that. But, like I was saying, like, when I am, trying to choose a picture to post, I'm so critical and hard on myself. And it's like, cha, do you know what I mean? And, I do, yeah, there is a level of pressure there. There is a level of pressure because, you want people to like your picture. You want people to be interested in you, especially if you have something like a blog, something like a YouTube channel, something like a podcast, something like that. You want people to have a certain level of interest in you, even if it's because your content is good, if it's because they are liking the way you look, so they're interested in seeing what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever reason, as long as it gets them to your business, as long as it gets them to your page, to where you actually want them to go, then, that's what you got to do. But then, yeah, sometimes I do, me speaking for myself, I do kind of feel like, okay, there's a pressure. I got to look good, man. Do you know what I mean? If I'm out here looking nuts, how are people gonna want to run to my blog? What, like, why are they gonna go? Why are they gonna go there if I'm out here looking crazy? Like, why are people gonna want to listen to my podcast if I'm never saying anything worth listening to? Do you know what I mean? So I do feel like there's a level of pressure to sort of beat the algorithm, or to understand it. Just at the very least, understand the algorithm, understand how it all works, understand what I have to do, what I need to do in order to further my business at the end of the day. And I don't want my need to sort of grow my blog and stuff like that to now mean that I have to, you know what I mean? Like, perceive myself in a certain way, because that's a lot of what Notes to My Mama is about. It's about me, and my life and my journey, and just my experiences and stuff like that, and what I'm doing now, how I'm choosing to better myself, how I'm choosing to grow, after being through some of the worst shit. So I don't want to put out something that isn't real. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to put out something that ain't, it just ain't me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm never gonna sort of dress in a certain way, act in a certain way in order to get traction, in order to get likes, in order to get more views. I can't do it because it's just not in my nature. It takes too much effort. And I swear down to you, I ain't got it. Writing my blogs is easy because it's coming from the heart. It's coming from things that I actually think. Speaking of my podcasts, I'm speaking just what my truth is, and I'm speaking just what I want to say. Do you know what I mean? There ain't nothing contrived. There ain't nothing, do you know, like at the end of the day, I'm just trying to keep it real on all these platforms. And I kind of feel like more people need to do that. We need to just promote more realness than anything. I know in this world right now, that ain't what we're seeing. But the more people coming out and just being themselves and just being real, the better. But I do get it. The way some people are set up, they will sit there and look for your flaws, look for what they think isn't attractive and point at it, comment about it. That's that in the background. Comment about it. And then, just make you feel like shit. And then you're now studying the kind of pictures that you're posting. And it's like, nah, Like, Instagram, do what you need to do in order to change that kind of mindset. And just as long as it's about that, as long as it's about sort of changing some of the ways social media has really, really trolled and changed people's lives, and not necessarily for the better. I really do hope that they're doing it, just to sort of start changing the conversation a bit. I think Nicki Minaj was saying something about, so many businesses have come from, Instagram. That's influencers. Instagram is literally their business. Do you know what I mean? Being a personality, showcasing off different brands and actually influencing people to buy these products. That is literally their job. And it could affect them. So they're going to have to go about making money in a different way. They're going to have to, take screenshots of their insights, show these brands, look, these are my insights. This is what I'm still getting, we can still work together. And it's like, it's going to be a lot harder for them. And I'm just hoping that a lot of influencers have actually used their sense and taken the money that they've made, being an influencer, and invested in something. I've started a business in something, because come on now, we all knew that all this whole social media malark weren't going to last. Do you know what I mean? And Instagram aren't making any money, from influencers influencing. They're not. Do you know what I mean? So I think Nicki Minaj was saying something about now is a case where businesses are going to have to now come to Instagram about the whole sponsored thing. I don't really know, but I kind of got what she was saying. But it's like, maybe Instagram is thinking, well, I ain't making any money from this, from you lot making money. So how can that? Who knows their intention? Just as long as it's changing the conversation a bit, and it's for the betterment of especially younger people, I'm all on board. For honest blog posts about single and co-parenting, tips and advice on kids' style and recipes, head over to notestomymamablog.com. And to see me and mine living our daily lives with vlogs and some mummy hacks, head over to my YouTube channel, search Notes to My Mama, and you'll see us there. I also wanted to touch on something about sort of still keeping in black with the pressure and stuff like that to sort of stay relevant after you've had like a child and things like that. Me, I don't know who I would stay relevant for. I don't think I was ever relevant. And I say that not in a way to sort of put myself down. I just don't think I was much of a personality before having a child. And that's just, honestly, that's my honest opinion. I know I have some friends who will be like, shout out. You was on tour, you was doing this. But I think people that work in the industry will know where I'm coming from. Like, you don't see yourself as some sort of major person. Well, if you do, congratulations. Me, I didn't. So I was thinking about things in a sense where after having a child, I wanted to still be seen as young, attractive, still about it, still out and about, and all of that stuff. And I know, like, in the earlier part of Steph's life, I was still working and doing all that stuff, and that's great. And a part of me kind of felt like, yeah, man, I still got it. But then the other part of me was knackered, tired. So I did, and it did catch up with me instead of now hibernated again. And it was like, but then people are going to feel like, she can't juggle things. Da, 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 da. And it's just, again, just sort of, feeling a way about what other people think. And it's like, why? Why has this happened? And I just kind of feel like, I want to fit into that whole millennial sort of mold where it's like we're doing things differently. We can have children and still have a life. I'm single out here in these streets, so I need to be, out here in these streets if I'm going to meet somebody. Do you know what I mean? And it was just that pressure just to stay pretty, just to, keep your body looking a certain way. I haven't succeeded in that part, but whatever. I'm now at a point where I've accepted myself for who I am. Kind of. Like, I don't need to, because I've gone down this route, being a blogger, being a podcaster and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I need to be relevant to my business. Do you know what I mean? And even that comes with its own pressure. I need to make sure that every day me and Seth have some kind of play group to go to, or some kind of, activity, or some kind of place or whatever. I need to make sure he's kitted out in all these kinds of clothes. I need to make sure. And it's like, just trying to stay truthful yet relevant is a whole nother issue, because at the end of the day, Seth is growing well. He looks great. He's so clever. He's so smart. He's great. And I keep his schedule, I try to anyway, jam-packed. But there are weeks where I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. So it's like, we're not going here and here this week because I can't get dressed. I can get dressed, but I can't put on makeup. I can't come out looking anyhow. So it's not happening. And it's like, but, people are going to notice that we're quiet this week on Instagram. People are going to notice that we're quiet this week on Facebook because I haven't posted anything. And it's like, my whole point is the whole thinking about and what other people think, and being too concerned about what other people think. This is the problem. This is the problem with all of it, with the whole Instagram thing, with the whole business thing. Like, I need to learn to not be so pressed about what people that don't know me think. That's just in my personal life. Now, I have a blog and a podcast to think about, right? And a YouTube channel, right? So if I'm going to display a lot of my life free willingly, some part of me has to be mindful about, what I'm putting out there. Because what I'm thinking now is whatever I put out there needs to lead them to my blog, my YouTube channel, and my podcast. It needs to lead them there. So, there is some sort of level of thinking to the things that I post. But for the most part, I took a cute pic and I'm posting it. End off. Do you know what I mean? And, so I'm in the middle of sort of finding a balance between, making it relevant to my business and also relevant to me. Luckily, everything about my business is about me. So I can only really be me. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know how to do it. I don't even know how to be fake. I don't even know how to behave like, I have this life that I don't have. I ain't got time for that. Because the life that I am already living is a lot. And I ain't got time for that. But I just wanted to jump on there and sort of talk about these things as, it is a part of the conversation these days. And I just wanted to put my 2 pence in. If you want to add anything and you want me to talk about anything, email yourmumpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to jump up on there with me, have a good conversation with me, yourmumpodcast@gmail.com. And I will definitely respond back to you. Thank you so much for those who have sent emails about certain things that I've spoken about in the past. I really do appreciate your input. And don't forget to leave a review of Your M.U.M podcast on Apple Podcasts. I will really, really, really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for listening. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye.